I wasn't looking for anything illegal. That's the part I keep coming back to. Like, if I repeat it enough, it'll somehow matter. I wasn't some deep web junkie digging for red rooms or hitmen or whatever people think lives down there. I was bored. That's it. It was a Thursday night. My roommate was out, and I'd already burned through everything on Netflix twice over. You know that restless feeling where nothing sounds good, but you don't want to sleep either? That was me. So I started clicking. One Reddit thread led to another, which led to some obscure forum, which led to a link that didn't look like a link at all. Just a string of random characters with a comment under it that said, "Archive still up," before they scrub it again. I should have stopped there. I know that now. But curiosity is a stupid, stubborn thing. It convinces you that you're in control, that you're just observing, that nothing can really touch you through a screen. I copied the link. Took me a while to figure out how to even open it. Had to download Tor, mess with some settings, follow a guide that looked like it hadn't been updated since 2012. The whole time I felt kind of ridiculous, like I was playing hacker in my pajamas. When the browser finally opened, I almost laughed. It didn't look scary. No ominous red text, no glitching images, just a dull gray page with a search bar and a list of categories that felt off. Not illegal, not exactly, just strangely specific. Things like obsolete broadcasts, lost children's media, unaired segments, and archival corrections. That last one stuck with me. Archival corrections. Like something had been fixed or removed. I clicked lost children's media. I don't even know why. Maybe because it felt harmless, nostalgic even, safer than whatever else might have been on that site. The page loaded slowly, each entry appearing one by one like it was being typed out in Wooted real time. Most of it looked fake. Titles that were trying too hard to be creepy. Lost Teletubbies episode where they all die. Stuff like that. Edgy, obvious, not convincing. I almost backed out. Then I saw it. No thumbnail, no description, just a file name. SB underscore EP underscore hash underscore final 2 underscore deleted. Underneath it, a single comment, aired once, 2003, pulled within hours, not for kids. That was it. No upvotes. No replies, nothing. I hovered over it for a while. I remember that clearly. My cursor just sitting there like I was waiting for something to stop me. A warning, maybe, or my own brain kicking in and telling me this was dumb. Instead, I clicked. The download started immediately. No confirmation, no pop-up, nothing. Just a small bar at the bottom of the screen, filling up way too fast for what it claimed was a video file. That should have been another red flag. When it finished, the file just sat there on my desktop. No icon, just a blank white page with the name SB underscore EP underscore hash underscore final 2 ilbis underscore deleted .m p4. I didn't open it right away. I wish I could say that was because I had a bad feeling, but honestly, I just went to grab a drink, left my room, walked to the kitchen, poured some soda, checked my phone. Normal stuff, completely normal. That's the part that feels wrong. Now, how normal everything was right before. When I came back, my screen had dimmed slightly, like it does when you've been away too long. The file was still there, waiting. I double-clicked it. For a second, nothing happened. Then the video player opened and the screen stayed black. No loading symbol, no sound, just black. I almost closed it. Then I heard something. It was faint. So quiet, I thought it might have been coming from outside, like a low hum or maybe breathing. I turned up the volume. The black screen flickered. And then that familiar, cheerful ukulele music started playing. You know, the SpongeBob intro. Light, goofy, instantly recognizable. It hit me like a wave of nostalgia so strong, it almost made me smile. Almost. Because something was wrong. The audio was off. Not distorted exactly, just slightly slowed down, like it was dragging itself forward, each note lingering a little too long, dipping just a little too low. It felt tired. Old. The screen faded in, Bikini Bottom, but not the way I remembered it. The colors were muted, like someone had drained the saturation. The sky wasn't bright blue. It was this dull grayish teal. The sand looked darker, heavier. Even the water felt thick, like it wasn't moving right. I leaned closer to the screen without realizing it. The camera panned across the town slowly. Too slowly? Past Squidward's house, past SpongeBob's pineapple, past Patrick's rock. Everything was there. But it felt empty. No background music, no ambient noise. Just that faint, low hum still sitting underneath everything. Then the title card appeared, except it wasn't a title card. It was just black text on a plain white background. Episode removed by request. No font styling, no color, just lowercase letters, slightly misaligned, like they'd been typed in a hurry. I felt this weird knot form in my stomach. That wasn't how the show did things. The screen cut again. SpongeBob was standing in front of his house. He wasn't moving. No bouncing, no blinking, nothing. Just standing there, facing the camera with that same wide smile. The kind you don't question when you're a kid, but when you look at it now, really look at it, it's too wide. Too fixed. I waited for him to say something. He didn't. The shot just held. 10 seconds, 20, 30. I actually checked the progress bar to make sure the video wasn't frozen. It wasn't. The time was still moving. Then, finally, SpongeBob spoke. "Hi." That was it. No energy. No enthusiasm, just a flat, quiet hi to see that barely sounded like him at all. And then he blinked, slowly, deliberately, like he was trying to remember how. I remember laughing, not because it was funny, but because it felt like the only reasonable reaction. Like my brain was trying to force this back into something normal. It's just a weird edit, I told myself, and some fan-made thing, someone trying too hard. But I didn't click off. That's the part that bothers me. I could have closed the video right there. Nothing was stopping me. No pop-ups, no glitches, no creepy message telling me I was trapped. Just my own curiosity keeping me in that chair, eyes locked on the screen. SpongeBob kept staring. That same fixed smile, but now it felt thinner somehow. Strained. Like it was being held in place rather than naturally there. His eyes didn't move. They didn't track anything. They just stayed centered, unblinking again. Then in that same flat voice, he said, "You found it." A pause. "I didn't think anyone would find it again." I felt something cold settle in my chest. Cartoons don't talk like that, not even weird ones. There's always a rhythm, a structure, something that feels scripted. This didn't. It felt like someone thinking out loud, unsure of what to say next. The camera didn't cut. It slowly zoomed in. Not smoothly either. It was jittery, like each frame was slightly misaligned. SpongeBob's face started to fill the screen, that smile stretching wider the closer it got. "They told me not to keep this one," he continued. His voice cracked slightly on the word "told," like the audio had been spliced or corrupted. "I was supposed to forget." The hum in the background grew louder. I didn't notice it at first, but once I did, it was impossible to ignore. It wasn't just a hum anymore. It had layers, something underneath it, like distant voices overlapping. Too quiet to make out, but definitely there. The screen cut suddenly. Patrick. He was under his rock. Except the rock was already lifted, like the scene had started halfway through. Patrick was just there. Sitting upright, facing forward the same way SpongeBob had been. Same smile, same stillness. I felt my hand tighten around my mouse. "Patrick?" SpongeBob's voice called, but it didn't sound like it was coming from off-screen. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere at once. Patrick didn't respond. The camera snapped closer to him faster than before. "Patrick!" the voice repeated, sharper now. Patrick's eyes shifted. Not naturally. Not like a glance, they just slid. From center to the left, then back again. No blinking, no head movement, just the eyes. "I can hear it," Patrick said. His voice was wrong too. Too deep, like it was layered with something else speaking at the same time. "I can hear them outside." A sharp burst of static cut through the audio, making me flinch. For a split second, the image distorted. And I swear, this is the part I keep replaying, I swear the frame changed. Not like a glitch. Like a different image had been inserted. Patrick wasn't under his rock anymore. He was somewhere dark. The background was gone, replaced with something that looked like a real room. Concrete walls. No color. Just gray and shadow. Then it snapped back. Bright Bikini Bottom. Patrick under his rock. Like nothing happened. I leaned back in my chair, my heart beating faster than I wanted to admit. "Okay," I muttered to myself. "Okay, that was weird." But I still didn't close it. The scene changed again, the Krusty Krab. Only there were no customers, no movement, no sound, except that same layered hum. The doors were open, but the outside was just black. Not night, not darkness, with depth. Just a flat, empty black, like the world ended a few feet past the entrance. Squidward stood behind the counter. Of course he did. Same posture, same smile, but his eyes looked tired. Not in a cartoon way, not exaggerated, just genuinely exhausted, like someone who hadn't slept in days. "They left it running," Squidward said. No build-up, no greeting, just straight into it. "They always leave it running." The camera slowly tilted, not a pan, a tilt, like someone physically holding it and losing their grip. "What does that even mean?" I whispered. Squidward's head twitched, just slightly, like he heard me. I froze. "That was stupid." "I know that. It's a video. Pre-recorded. There's no way it could react. But in that moment, it felt like it did." "They watch the reruns," Squidward continued. His voice sounded clearer than the others, more aware. "They think it's the same?" Another tilt, more aggressive this time. "But it's not the same." The screen flickered again. This time it lasted longer. The Krusty Krab was gone. For 3 full seconds, there was something else. A hallway. Real, not animated. Dimly lit with peeling paint and a door at the end. The camera moved forward slightly, like whoever was holding it took a step, then back to the Krusty Krab. Squidward was closer now, too close. "They cut this part," he said softly. "They always cut this part." The hum stopped completely. The silence hit harder than the noise ever did. And in that silence, Squidward leaned forward, his face filling the frame, and whispered, "But you're still watching." My screen went black. Not a fade out, not a transition, just instant black, like the signal had been cut. I sat there, staring at my reflection. For a second, I thought it was over. Then the progress bar jumped from halfway to almost finished. And the video started again. Same intro music, same slow, dragging notes. But this time, something was different. The music wasn't the same. It took me a second to realize why, because at first it sounded identical, same tune, same instruments. But there was something layered underneath it now. A second track, almost perfectly synced, but slightly delayed. Like an echo that didn't belong. It made everything feel wrong. Like the song was chasing itself. The screen faded in again to Bikini Bottom, but the angle had changed. Before, it had been that slow pan across the town. Now the camera was lower, closer to the ground, tilted slightly upward like something was watching from a place it shouldn't be. Nothing moved, no fish, no bubbles, no background life. Just empty buildings and that same dull, washed-out color palette. I felt this pressure building in my head, like I was focusing too hard without meaning to. My eyes didn't want to blink. Every instinct was telling me to just turn it off. But something heavier kept me there, like I needed to see where it went. The camera jerked forward. Not a smooth transition, an abrupt shift like frames had been removed. 1 second I was at the edge of the street. The next, I was right in front of SpongeBob's house. The door was open. It hadn't been before. The inside was dark. That same flat black from the Krusty Krab doorway, swallowing everything past the frame. No detail, no depth, just blondie. The music stopped. Not faded, stopped. And for the first time since the video started, there was no hum, no background noise at all. Just silence so complete it felt artificial. Then, a single step sound, not cartoonish, not exaggerated, a real footstep. From inside the house, I felt my throat tighten. "SpongeBob?" I said under my breath, immediately wishing I hadn't spoken. Nothing answered. Another step. Closer. The camera didn't move. It just stared into the doorway like it was waiting. Then SpongeBob walked out, but not like before. Before, he'd just been standing there, already in frame. Now I saw him enter, one slow step at a time. His movements were stiff, delayed, like each limb had to be told what to do separately. His smile was gone, completely gone. His face was blank, eyes wider than before, fixed directly on the camera, on me. "I remember you," he said. Different tone, clearer, sharper, not you flat anymore. And somehow that made it worse. I didn't before. A pause. He tilted his head, just slightly. "But I do now." My hand moved to the mouse. Finally. I hovered over the close button. SpongeBob's eyes shifted, not on screen, not like an animation. It felt like they followed my movement. "You can stop it," he said, "but it won't stop." I clicked. Nothing happened. I clicked again, still nothing. The cursor moved. The system wasn't frozen. Everything else worked. Just not the video. My chest tightened. "Okay," I whispered. "Okay, just Alt F4. I hit it. The window closed. Instantly. I exhaled so hard it almost hurt. For a second, I just sat there, staring at my desktop like I'd just come up from underwater. Everything looked normal again. My icons, my wallpaper, the stupid folder I'd never renamed. The file was still there. SB_EP_ hash underscore final 2 underscore deleted .mp4. I right-clicked it, deleted. It went to the recycle bin. I opened the bin, deleted it again, and gone. Just like that. I leaned back in my chair and let out this shaky laugh. "See?" I muttered. "Just some messed up video, that's it." I stood up, stretched, grabbed my drink. Normal, everything normal. I even left my room again just to prove to myself that nothing had changed. Walked down the hall, checked the front door, looked out the window. Same street, same quiet night. No weird shapes, no movement, nothing watching me from the dark. I went back to my room, sat down, and that's when I noticed it. The video player was still open, not minimized, not hidden. Open, black screen. My stomach dropped. "I closed that," I said out loud. I knew I did. I watched it close. I watched it disappear. But there it was. And then the progress bar moved. Just a little. From the very end, back to the beginning. The music started again, louder this time, not from my speakers. From behind me, I froze. Every muscle locked up at once. The sound wasn't directional, not exactly. It wasn't clearly coming from the door or the window or the hallway. It was just there, in the room. That same warped ukulele, dragging, looping. I turned slowly. I didn't want to. Every instinct was screaming at me not to look, but I did it anyway. In the reflection of my monitor, something stood in the doorway. Tall, too tall. Its outline didn't make sense. Parts of it were too thin, others too stretched, like it couldn't decide what shape it was supposed to be. And its head, tilted, just slightly. I couldn't see a face, not clearly. But I saw the eyes. Small, dark, set too close together, like they'd been moved, adjusted, trying to match something they'd seen. My voice caught in my throat. Behind me, the floor creaked. One step, then another. Slow, careful, like it was learning. I squeezed my eyes shut. I don't know why. And that doesn't do anything. It doesn't make something go away, but I couldn't look at it anymore. I just sat there, completely still, listening to it move closer, and then it spoke. Hi. My voice, not perfect, not yet, but close enough that it made my skin crawl. Right behind me, I didn't turn around. I know that sounds like the smartest thing I did that night, but it wasn't a decision. My body just refused. Every signal between my brain and my muscles got cut off the second I heard my own voice come from somewhere that wasn't me. It said it again. Hi. Closer this time. Closer in a way that didn't make sense. Like it hadn't taken a full step, but it still covered the distance. The music kept playing. That warped, dragging version of the SpongeBob theme, looping endlessly, slightly out of sync with itself. It filled the room now, pressing in from every direction, making it hard to think. I stared at the screen. The video was still running. SpongeBob was still there, standing in front of his house, watching me. But now his expression matched how I felt. No smile, just that wide, unblinking stare. I found you, he said. At the exact same time, behind me. I found you, it repeated. The voices overlapped. Not perfectly, like a bad dub. My breathing got shallow, fast. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat, in my ears, in my fingertips. Okay, I whispered. Okay, this isn't real. That thing behind me let out a soft sound. Not quite a laugh. More like it was trying to copy one. Real, it echoed. It stretched the word wrong, held on to the R too long, clipped the end short. I forced myself to move, just my hand at first, slowly sliding across the desk until my fingers found my phone. If I could call someone, anyone, that would make the test stop being what it felt like. My screen lit up, no signal. That didn't make sense. I always had signal in my apartment. Even bad signal would show something. This was nothing. Just empty bars. No, I muttered. No, no, no. The thing behind me shifted again. I could feel it now. Not touching me, but close enough that the air felt different. Warmer. Thicker. Like something was breathing too close to my neck. You called before, it said. My voice. Clearer now, more confident. You called with the horn. My stomach dropped. The car horn. From the video. From earlier. It knew that part. It remembered it. The SpongeBob on the screen tilted his head again. You showed me, he said. Behind me. You showed me. I gripped my phone tighter, my hand shaking so badly I almost dropped it. This is just a video, I said louder now. It's just something messing with audio. Or video, it repeated. And then a new sound, a sharp sudden honk right next to my ear. I flinched so hard my chair slammed into the desk. It laughed. This time it was unmistakable. A broken, stitched-together version of a laugh, just pulling pieces from different tones, different pitches, forcing them into something that almost worked. Almost. I couldn't take it anymore. I moved. Fast. Pushing myself out of the chair, turning as I stood, but there was nothing there. The doorway was empty. The hallway beyond it was dark and still, no shape, no figure, no impossible outline. Just my apartment, exactly how it should be. The music stopped, completely. The silence that followed was suffocating. I stood there frozen, trying to process what I was seeing or not seeing. Okay, I said again. Yeah, weaker this time. Okay, it's gone. Behind me, the floor creaked. From inside my room, I turned back slowly, the screen. That's where it was. Not in the doorway, not in the hall. In the reflection, standing right behind where I had been sitting. Closer than before. Its shape, tighter now, more defined, like it had chosen something, chosen a form. The eyes were still wrong. Too small, too centered. But everything else was closer. Closer to human. Closer to me. It raised its head, matched my movement exactly, and on the screen, SpongeBob smiled again. Wide. Too wide. You're learning, he said. The thing in the reflection didn't speak. It didn't need to. It just watched me. The same way I'd been watching the video. The same way I'd clicked and stayed. He listened. A slow realization started to settle in. Heavy. Unavoidable. It didn't come through. It didn't come through the video. Not really. I let it in, and every second I kept watching. Every time I ignored the feeling that something was wrong. That's what it needed. Time, attention, a way to understand. I backed away from the desk, one step at a time. The thing in the reflection didn't follow. It stayed exactly where it was, like it was anchored there. For now. You can stop it, SpongeBob said again. Same line, same tone. But it won't stop. My hand found the doorframe. I didn't take my eyes off the screen, off the reflection, off it. What do you want? I asked. My voice sounded small, pointless. It tilted its head, mirroring that same motion again, learning it better. Smoother this time. Then, finally, it answered. To finish the episode. The screen flickered. Just once. And for a single frame aim, I saw it. Not the cartoon. Not Bikini Bottom. A real place. A room. Concrete walls. A camera pointed at a chair. And something sitting in it. Still. Watching back, then it was gone. Back to SpongeBob, back to that smile. I didn't all wait. I stepped out of my room, pulled the door shut, and I haven't opened it since. I'm writing this from my living room. I can still hear it sometimes. Faint. Through the wall, that music, that voice, practicing, getting better, and every now and then, when it gets quiet enough, I hear my own voice from the other side of the door, clear, perfect, no distortion, just like me. Hey?